The paper is set by the University of Mysore. They're gonna give you the question, you are supposed to answer. But when it comes to the internal, here there is a trick. What exactly the trick is? When they have given the question, difference between administration and management, what you people do is, you write 5 points of administration, 5 points of management, and you think that you'll be getting 10 marks. But this is not the reality. Techniques of control is very, very important, guys, because you will understand that to plan it is easy, but to make that feasible. Hello everybody, a warm welcome to one and all. I'm Abhilash Chandra from the Department of Commerce and Management in Vidhyaashram First Grade College, the Temple of Excellence. Welcome to all the students for this subject, which is very popular, and this subject is something which every one of you need to understand what exactly the subject is. The subject is Management Principles and Application for the first sem BCom students. Now, why exactly we need to understand about management and its principle? The reason behind is, for everyday business we need something, and that is the application. How exactly you will apply the skills and the knowledge which you have incurred in the business, and how well you're gonna manage your laborers, your employees, as well as your finance. So that's the reason you need to always go with this subject called as the Management Principles and Application, which is given by the NEP to the University of Mysore, and it is there in your first semester. So what we gonna go and what is that we gonna learn in this sem? So the agenda here we have is totally 5. The first thing is prerequisite, what exactly you people need to understand before knowing the subject. The second is learning outcome. Then we're gonna tell you more about the units. After the units, we're gonna talk about internals and the examination pattern. Now you people are very new to this NEP concept, because as soon as your PU board is all done, you have come to the degree where you need to understand that this is the first time in the history of Mysore University we have 4 years of UG, and in this we are supposed to go with the BCom honors. If anybody is going with, you are supposed to know the prerequisite, how exactly things gonna happen. So the first one is a prerequisite. Here we're gonna go with the scheme of evaluation. What exactly this scheme of evaluation is? We have internal as well as external. So in the internals you are supposed to write for 40 marks. In the external, you are supposed to go with 60 marks. Usually in the external, what happens is the paper is set by the University of Mysore. They're gonna give you the question, you are supposed to answer. But when it comes to the internal, here there is a trick. What exactly the trick is? Now there's 40 marks is divided into 20 and 20. Now what exactly this 20-20 concept is? Now 20 here, what happens is, again this is divided into 2, 10 and 10. This is entirely your test. That is, your faculty gonna give you the sets of questions and you are supposed to go with the answer. And the next 20 here we have, this is all about your activities and the skills, that is 10 and 10. So here what happens is, the activity can be a seminar, a symposium, the viva. You can actually go with a kind of articles you are supposed to write, journals you are supposed to follow. So those things are the skills which you are supposed to go with, the 20 and 20 concept. Now when it comes to the external, as I told you earlier itself, the University of Mysore gonna give you the question paper, and that will be for 60 marks. So here question paper pattern, now which I was telling you about, that is the question paper pattern. This is for the 60 marks here. Now when you go with the 60 marks, how this marks is being allotted? You have 3 sets, that is you have A, B and C. Now the same set I have actually given it here itself, that is the part A, B and C. The questions will be like this. The total questions in the question paper will be 7 questions you will be getting, but here you need to only write 5 questions. You need to attempt only 5 questions. Each question carry 2 marks. And that is how the total is 10. 5 into 2 is 10. So each question carry 2 marks. 7 questions will be given by the university board, but you are supposed to write only 5. The second part B is, you will totally have 4 questions. The part C also you have totally 4 questions. The trick here, what exactly it is, the chapters you are supposed to understand where the questions are gonna come. But here what exactly you will be going with is only 2 questions you're going to write, and here also you're going to write 2 questions. Each carry 10 marks in the part B, and part C will be 15 marks. So that is how the marks will be allocated in each different parts. So the total, if you go with it, that is you will be getting 60 marks. So the reality is this: part A consists of 2 marks, part B consists of 10 marks, and part C consists of 15 marks. So here what exactly you are supposed to do? 2 into 5, that is your 5 into 2, that is 10. Next here is 2 into 10 is your 20, and then 2 into 15 is 30. Total it is 60 marks. So this is how the pattern will be given. So I'll teach you how to crack this Chakravyuha also. Now, in the first sem BCom course, as per the NEP, I have given you 6 subjects here. One of the subjects will be added, that is the elective, where you people can have a free chance of choosing whichever the elective you really people want to go with it. Learning outcome, what exactly this learning outcome is? Now, when it comes to learning outcome, the University of Mysore gave us a clear instruction. This is the National Education Policy 2021, where we want people to understand how the business work, how exactly an entrepreneur need to get prepared before he starts his business. And they also wanted people to know that is the students to know that the principles of management and its application will give you a outrage. The management and principle application will give each and every student the basic knowledge about what are the fundamental functions which happens in a business and the organization. So that is your learning outcome. So here we have the syllabus. Now University of Mysore have given a prescribed syllabus saying there are 5 chapters, namely the introduction to management, planning, organizing, leadership and controlling. So these are the 5 chapters which you have in your syllabus. Each and every chapter will always motivate you to learn so that you can be an entrepreneur here. Now, when we go with the university norms, we also have something called skill development. Now, what exactly the skill development is? For each and every chapter, there is 1 or 2 skill developments. Say example, namely, if I take an example of planning. Now, the skill development of planning is what exactly it is. That is how well you are doing your plans when it comes to an event management. So when you go for an event management, say example, now Vidhyaashram is very famous for one thing called as the plunge, the wow, the management fest. So we're gonna give you a skill kind of a development, that is you need to plan how an event should happen. That is what the skill development which we're gonna give it to you. As well as the university also has some kind of a skill development, that is you are supposed to plan for a recruitment, you are supposed to plan for an alteration where you will go for excursion. All these kinds of the skill development that we gonna give it to you. Now here, introduction to management, it's a very fundamental chapter where you will be learning more about Henry Fayol 14 principles, contribution of F.W. Taylor, functions of management, and the characteristics and the nature of the management. Now here, when we go with the introduction, as I told you people, again I have split everything. I have given you everything in detail. Please do take a screenshot of all these questions, because these are the topics which gonna come in the main examination for 60 marks. Say example, I'm just giving it to you. Definition is compulsory thing, that is you should know what is management. Management is an art of getting things done through others efficiently and effectively. So it's a compulsory question where it can come for 2 marks. When it comes for 15, see here, I have given you 2 15 marks question and 3 10 marks question. Now what exactly all these happens is, if you learn 2 15 marks question, 1 15 marks question is compulsory from the first chapter. So the thing is here, the question paper is already leaked before the examination, right? So we can go with F.W. Taylor. The contribution of F.W. Taylor can come for 15 marks. Management functions will come for 10 marks. Nature and management characters gonna come for 10 marks. Henry Fayol 14 principle or the contribution of Henry Fayol will come for 15 marks. And the last one is the difference between administration and management can come for 10 marks. So these are the topics which you people need to concentrate more. 15 marks in the sense you are supposed to write 15 to 16 more points. 10 marks in the sense you are supposed to go with 10 different points. Usually where students make mistake is when they have given the question difference between Administration and management, what you people do is you write 5 points of administration, 5 points of management, and you think that you'll be getting 10 marks. But this is not the reality. The reality is like this. You need to write 10 marks. How exactly? In the sense, 10 points of administration, 10 points of management. That is how you will be fetching 10 marks. The second chapter, here we go, that is a unit 2, planning. Again, the definition is the same, that is a 2 marks. What is planning? Define planning. Those are the questions you people will get. Now, when we go with the planning, we always say planning is a future course of action. Planning bridges the gap between what you are and what you want to be. Now, all these questions you people need to understand very carefully. 2 marks question, 7 questions are gonna be there, 5 you are supposed to write. Just understand the unit name and its meaning. Definitely those questions gonna come for 2 marks. Now here what I have done is I have given you 1, 2, 3, 4 topics I have given it to you. Now decision making is a 2 mark question where you will actually get it very easily. The next one is 10, 15, 15. That means I have given you here 2 15 marks question and 1 10 mark question. Now what happens here is, in this 2 15 marks question, you will get 1 15 marks question for sure. So study 2 questions, you're gonna get 1 15 marks for sure. Planning process is a 10 marks question. Features and importance of planning is a 15 marks question. Types of plans is also a 15 marks question, followed by a decision making. The meaning, if you understand, that is all enough, where you will be writing the 2 marks question. Unit 3 is organizing. Again, here also the same thing, definition, types of organization, formal and informal organization, centralization and decentralization. Many of you have a confusion what exactly centralization is, what is decentralization. When it comes to centralization, there is only one person or few people who have authority. When it comes to decentralization, that is distribution of authority and responsibility. So here what happens in decentralization is many people have the authority and they follow the responsibility. So that is what the distribution takes place here. Now, delegation of authority. Now, you got to know decentralization. What is delegation? Delegation is transfer of authority and responsibility. But please understand, delegation is actually temporary. Now, why? Because in delegation, we have something. Say, I always give this example. Whenever it comes to delegation, now there is a person who is a captain, Captain A, and there is a vice captain called Vice Captain B. Now whenever A is injured and A takes a break, the captain will be out of the game, the Vice Captain B will come and he'll be the captain. Now the minute the Captain A will come back, again the delegation is what? The Captain B need to leave the captaincy and he should come back to the Vice Captain. So delegation is what? That is transfer of authority and responsibility, but it is temporary. So let's go with that. Next one is departmentation. Each and every departments are segregated. Now again, here also the same kind of a thing. 2 15 marks question I have given you, 2 10 marks question I have given you, and there are 2, this one and the 2 marks question I have already given in the 3rd unit. Leadership. When it comes to leadership, every one of us need to understand the quality of being a good leader. We should also understand types of leaders. Now, autocratic, democratic, bureaucratic, paternal, participative, all type of leadership. Why? Because one or the other day, we need to be a leader in eyes of the public or in the eyes of ourselves. So one should always lead somebody. So that's the reason this chapter is given. And this chapter is the 4th chapter where you have qualities of good leader. So you can develop the leadership quality in yourself. Leadership styles, Maslow hierarchy. Now here please understand, these are again the same concept which you people have already learned in 2nd PUC if you have taken commerce. The science students who have come to the commerce here, never get afraid of all these things. There are no rocket science. It is very simple. It is what the need hierarchy theory or the motivational theory which we go with which is given by Abraham Harold Maslow. Now I'll teach you what exactly he has given it. Next we have the theory X, Y and Z. MacGregor Douglas, that is Douglas MacGregor, he gave a theory called X and Y theory, and then his student actually went with one more theory called as the Z theory. And the last one we have is Hertzberg theory, or it is also called as two-factor theory or hygiene theory. So I'm gonna teach you more about what all are the factors which motivates you people to work or to do something. That is all the motivational theories we have, followed by 1, 2 and 3. The next chapter here, we have the last chapter called controlling. In controlling, we have again a 2-mark question, that is what is control or what is controlling. Then we have 10 marks, 3 questions, and one is a 15 marks question. So here, what are the questions you people can expect here is importance of control, steps in control, and you have the last one, that is the techniques of control. See here, techniques of control is very, very important, guys, because you will understand that to plan it is easy, but to make that feasible or to make that reality, you need to always go with the controlling techniques. So that is where you will be getting for 15 marks. And the last topic here we have is the coordination. Now in the coordination, you can get a feature of coordination, importance of coordination. So the same way how management importance and features are, the coordination importance as well as the features are the same. Now here, when we go with the internals, I told you about the 40 marks, how the 40 marks is divided. Now here we have internal 1 and internal 2. When it comes to internal 1, what really happens is we give it for 30 marks. That is a test. Again, internal 2 is also the same, the 30 marks in the test. But what really we do is we convert those 30 marks into 10 marks. And here also 30 marks test will be converted into 10 marks. Plus we have one more, that is the 10 marks concept. That is where you people need to write your records. Now in this 10 marks, what happens is we will not give you the entire 10 marks only for the record. We also have something that is it is split, that is 5 marks for the skill development and 5 marks for the assignment. The same way it happens here also, that is we will convert 30 marks into 10 marks, and then we have one more, that is 10 marks, wherein you will have 5 marks for the skill development and again 5 marks for your assignments. Total here what happens is 10 plus 5 and 5, you have here 20 marks, and here also you have 20 marks. So the total 20 plus 20 is your 40. That is how we will look into your internal assessments. The next is the 60 marks. Again, I have explained you in the starting itself. I want you people to focus here more actually. That is the part A. It consists of 2-mark question. Now this is all 2-mark question. This is say 10-mark question, and this is the 15-mark question. Now I told you the trick. Now this trick is called the ACT trick. That is Abhilash Chandra trick. Now what exactly this Abhilash Chandra trick is? Suppose if you understand the pattern properly, there are 5 chapters, but what exactly you are supposed to understand is there are only 4 questions which you will be getting. How many questions? 4 questions here, 4 questions here. But you are supposed to attempt only 2 questions here and 2 questions here. That means even if you study only 2 chapters properly, a 15 marks and a 10 marks you can get it. That is within 2 chapters. If you understand this, 20 plus 30 is 50 marks. Now here you will write 2 questions because you learned only 2 chapters. So here you got 4 marks, isn't it? So here you got 4 marks. Here you got 20 and here you got 30 marks. 30 plus 20 is 50. 50 plus 4 is 54 marks. That means out of 60, guys, you got 54. You just studied only 2 chapters. This is what the Abhilash Chandra trick is, but this is not for all the students. I really want each and every student to study each and every subject, each and every chapter, each and every topic. The reason is knowledge is something which is more than the marks. So this is what I always tell my students, that is you shouldn't run for the marks. You should always go for knowledge. So here are the books for reference. I am a person who is an author also. I have written 16 books. So please do refer the first book, that is Management Principles and Application by Abhilash Chandra, followed by all these books which is being prescribed by the University of Mysore. For the books, you can contact Vidhyaashram anytime. We'll always be there for you people. Thank you so much. I'll see you when I see you. Thank you.